Hi, everybody. So for your branding sheet, I want you to have a nice explanation of how this works. So basically, I'm providing a template for you that's got everything that all the different elements that are good to have to lead into your UI UX project as well as your print project this week, or the print component, your print magazine cover. So this template, I'm sending you the packaged InDesign folder compressed to a zip. So you'll download the zip, open the folder, and open the INDD file. And it'll look like this. It'll have sample colors already in place to kind of guide you on what you're doing. So I'm going to kind of explain this. So for your brand name, this will be the name of your magazine, and you'll replace this with the typeface that you are using for your logo type, or the nameplate of your print cover, and basically your logo type. This typeface would carry over to all platforms. Any application that you would have your logo type, it would be this typeface everywhere consistently. So make sure your choice in that typeface is very important. So that will be considered your main accent typeface. So you have a little section for your typefaces. The main accent typeface in the middle here will be your logo type typeface. You'll have two other typefaces. The main typeface refers to the typeface that you would use more often for body copy, a lot of the content that's going in your publication. So that typeface needs to be really easy to read, and something that you can use consistently as well. The other accent typeface is basically for small type and different things. So for these two accent typefaces and the main typeface, those two typefaces, you want a sans serif and a serif that go well with your main accent typeface that will be your branded logo type. So I would choose a sans serif, and so the sans serif you would probably use majority of the time on the mobile app, whereas the serif would probably be better to use for body copy and small type in a magazine print version publication. So you would kind of use them differently on different platforms. So two easy to read complementary typefaces to go with your logo typeface. So that's how the typefaces work. You'll have branded colors. So at the end of the color lecture, you have a link to your color picker, or not color picker, but your color creator in Adobe. So in that, you can create your own color swatches. You can do that just in InDesign as well. When you I've already got the boxes for you to fill. So this dark lava is in place, but you would replace these 5 colors with your branded color palette. So these are colors you would use for different things, backgrounds, graphic elements, like if you had a pinstripe lines in places in your magazine, your widget to get into the phone, the background, the color of your logo type, your social media backgrounds, so think of colors that go well, that would be your branded color palette. You don't want any more than 5, but you can also double click on your fill box and get a color picker, and you can change these colors and play around and decide on what those are. And you will just use the hexadecimal code to save those so that you know what those are, and you can save those swatches in your documents as you're working on the projects for this magazine concept. You can name them whatever you would like. The logo, you want your logo type here in the middle, in the typeface that it's going to be. This would be your widget on the left to get into the UI UX. So to get into your mobile app of your magazine on the phone. And then on the right side, this is basically your logo type in black and white, in regular type on top there. And then on the bottom, it's like in reverse type. So if you had a dark background with it in a lighter color, how that would look. So this is giving you some different variations of your logo type and how that could carry over different applications. your social media icons. So for this, these are already, these shapes are grouped together. So to get just to the background color, just double click, because if I click it, you can see by the dotted line, it is a grouped object. So if I double click, I'm selecting just the background. And that way I can change the color. So if I wanted to change it to not something that bright, obviously, but if I wanted to change the color to one of my branded colors, I could do that, or, you know, have my color with the hexadecimal code in your color picker once you decide on those colors. So that's how you can, that's how you can get into the icons for the social media to change those colors and try out some of your branded colors there. So I just want you to know how to access just that background shape. I've explained the typeface section. At the bottom, these are just inspirational things that kind of emit the voice of your brand. So photos, graphics, you know, these things kind of go with your brand and give it a voice in a visual. And some of the graphics, you know, you may want to save some graphics that you might want to use towards some of the layout in the mobile app. Like you might want to think about what your graphics are going to look like for certain interactivity graphics, like arrows and menu icons and search icons. You know, how are those things going to look in the mobile app in relation to your brand? So a student piece from last semester. So she did the dog article on dog breeds. So her magazine is called Pup Fancy, and these are her branded colors. Her logo with, you know, her logo type and the color that she's mainly going to use, and then in black and white in reverse. Social media, she used the darker red, the matte red. And then her typefaces, the name of the typeface, it's good to put in the placeholder above the sample of your typefaces, because that way you don't forget the names of them and you don't have to go searching. So I would recommend doing that. And then these are her main type. This is the Gilead in, you know, that's her one of her accent typefaces. This is her main logo typeface, which is the Added Dog demo. And then the boiling demo is her serif that kind of goes with the sans serif here. And then her graphics and photographs down here at the bottom that are inspirational photos towards the voice of her brand. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea. So all she did was kind of just copy or select, you know, your text boxes are already there. All you have to do is select it, replace it with your brand name, and then put it in whatever typeface that you're using for that particular application. So once you're done with the branding sheet, you will, you know, it'll be labeled brand sheet .indd. So once you've replaced everything, what you want to do is when you save it, save as, and then you'll save it with your last name first, and then branding sheet, and then save it to your desktop, and then package it. It won't let you package without saving it first. So save it and then package. And when you package, you've already labeled it correctly. Your package folder will automatically be labeled the same. So that's kind of how to go about finalizing. Once you package it, just compress it and upload it to the folder and box for this particular assignment. Now, of course, if you have any questions, let me know earlier than later, preferably.